Welcome back. This is the BS-20M-DM Bandsaw from Baileigh Industrial. This saw is a dual-mitering bandsaw. What that means is it can miter in both directions. It's also got a 13-inch by 18-inch capacity. That's really large. Another great feature of this machine is the blade. The blade width on here is 1 1/4 inch. That's massive. The wider the blade, the straighter the cut. So let's look at some of the features on this machine. The bow on here is cast iron. I like cast iron on the bow because it's really rigid. The guarding on this machine is safety interlocked. Here we've got a 3 horsepower motor tied to an industrial grade gear reduction gearbox. That's great. Over here we've got beautiful high grade hydraulics. We have a coolant system. This coolant system is a really high pressure system. We put that on to clear out more of those chips and keep that blade cool. The cooler the blade, the longer it lasts. And finally on this side we have a simple to use stop. The stop is really good for doing multiple cuts and they're accurate every time. One last feature on this side is this huge chip tray. Just keeps your shop nice and clean and it's just a beautiful asset. Let's go to the other side. On the back side of this machine, we have a roller infeed table. I mean, that's a plus. If we go to the electrical control cabinet, we have a DRO. That's a digital readout. That's blade speed. So let's turn this puppy on. As you can see, it's reading the blade speed. I've got a speed pot here, so if I turn the speed pot up, you can see the blade goes faster. Having that DRO and that AC variable speed inverter drive, what it does is it allows us to put the proper speed to the material and the blade, and that's really important for blade life. Now let's look a little bit further here. This is our dual mitering head. So by simply moving this forward, there's some detents, and those detents are each 15 degrees. Every time we hit one, right here we're at 45, and here we're at 60 degrees. So by having those spring-loaded detents, we're not having to look at a scale that might be off. Here it's perfect every time. We also have right here a simple-to-use tensioning device. Green is good, red is not. So on that as well, if the blade breaks, the machine shuts down. So let's look at the vise a little bit more in detail. This vise, the jaws are serrated. Now the reason why I like serrated jaws is if you ever had to cut round and the round started spinning, you just ruined your blade. These serrations hold on to round real tight, and that's just perfect. Now for the vise itself, it's easy slide. I mean, it's just really easy to operate. So if you have some material, butt it up next to the material, pull this handle, and it makes that extra bit of tightness just like that, and you've clamped solidly your material. Notice your material also comes straight into this machine because the bow actually turns instead of the material. So now let's change this machine over to the other side. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the vise forward, and then we're going to move the head. There we are. To find out more about this great product or any additional Baileigh Industrial product, go to www.baileigh.com. Thanks for joining us.